Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. We're going to get into the latest, what has been going on from yesterday and today. But before we dive into the multiple topics at hand, Chelsea and non-Chelsea, we're going to kick off with the non-Chelsea because we want to start with a little laugh. We're going to do that very shortly. But before we do, make sure you check out the links in the description. Twitter and Instagram are there. Also, I will link you right now to our video earlier on this channel between myself and George Benson, where he was on the channel when we discussed how Chelsea got to where they got to by beating Dortmund in the last 16 in order to reach the quarterfinal of the Champions League. A nice 25-minute conversation for all of you to be graced with. And also don't forget the quarterfinal tier list that we done on his channel. Make sure you check that out. I will link that here as well. So make sure you guys have a look after you're done with this. Let's get cracking and let's start off, right, as I said, with non-Chelsea. Let's start with a little giggle, right? There's two football clubs that we need to talk about for the next couple of minutes, right? One, Tottenham Hotspur. You have to laugh every time you say their name. Secondly, Paris Saint-Germain. And you can laugh if you want at Paris Saint-Germain. We'll get to them very shortly. But Tottenham. What a football club. What a football club. And I actually, you know what, I'm a Chelsea fan, so obviously there's going to be, you know, little laughs and giggles because it's Spurs. Haha, they never win anything, right? I get that. But I don't want to go down that route. I actually want to talk, you know, logically from a non-biased perspective about the reality of Tottenham, right? The reality. Let's be real. Let's be honest. So any Tottenham fan watching, you can rest assured that I'm just being honest and real with you, okay? This Champions League campaign and the way it ended was just, frankly, unacceptable, right? Unacceptable. To be able to go out in that fashion against AC Milan, who we beat twice, right? Can I just put out there, we beat twice. Look at our season and what we're having, right? We are in tatters, right? It's been a horrific season. We're sitting 10th. It's been catastrophic, okay? We've been throwing results out of the window for fun. We even gave Tottenham 3 points, you know? Tottenham have been losing to everyone, including Sheffield United. They play us, they beat us. You know, it's crazy the way that we've been playing, but we beat AC Milan twice, home and away, right? When it comes to the Champions League and when it comes to really, really getting a result, we're there. Tottenham, it's just not in their fabric. And Antonio Conte and the way that it's been for him and Tottenham, it's just not worked. And look, we tried to warn you. Look, we tried to warn you from the very beginning that Tottenham was not going to be the place where it would work for Antonio Conte, and Antonio Conte was not going to be the guy that was going to get Tottenham to the promised land. Here's the truth, yeah? If it didn't happen with Mourinho, it's not going to happen with anybody. That's how I see it, honestly. Poch done very well when he was at Tottenham and still didn't get them to the promised land, right? And now everyone's asking for Poch to come back. Albeit, I understand where they're coming from. It's the same way that we looked at it when we got Jose back the second time, you know? I understood that. And when, yeah, come on, we want to get Jose back. But what's crazy is even in between that time, we were still winning trophies. With Spurs, they're still eluded from everything. They sacked Jose before a cup final, right? Conte, you can argue, is he backed? Is he not? I still think he's not been backed to the level that he needed to. He has been backed. He has been given players. But look, we told you this from the beginning. If you want Antonio Conte to succeed, you need to get him everything he wants. Every single player he asks for, you ain't got a choice. Right? It's like being set an ultimatum by the Italian mafia. You either go and get what they want or you die. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. Antonio Conte wants A, B, C, D, and E. Don't come back with just A, B, and C. Come back with A, B, C, D, and E. If not, it's not working. And this is how it's been at Tottenham. We all knew Daniel Levy and Tottenham and the structure was just not going to be the place. It just wasn't. And now they're coming to the end of Antonio Conte's contract. It's just gone left. It really has. And yeah, it's not looking good at all. Tottenham out once again, going trophyless once again, and Antonio Conte leaving at the end of the season for sure. Or maybe before. Everyone wants him sacked now. So look, don't say we didn't warn you. Yeah. What's crazy is with Mourinho and with Conte, we've won 10. Can I say that again? With Mourinho and Conte, we've won 10 trophies. 10. 4 league titles. 10 trophies. And we went far in other competitions. Tottenham, none. Hey, this is the history of the Tottenham. Am I not right? Anyway. So yeah, that's that. Pochettino probably on his way back. And to be honest, for Tottenham's level, Poch is probably the best that they can get. Don't expect Tottenham to win anything soon. Harry Kane needs to leave ASAP. Can I just say that? He needs to go. He needs to go now, right? Stop with the loyalty. I appreciate it. I admire it. But look, he is above and beyond what Tottenham can deliver. Honestly, he can go elsewhere and win trophies tomorrow. So look, we'll see what happens. PSG. Can I just say, PSG will never win the Champions League. That's just, it's obvious. PSG have this thing where they believe that they can just go and buy this guy, and yeah, that's it. We've got all the best players in the world now. We're automatically going to win the Champions League. That is not how it works. Yeah, you have Mbappe, Messi, Neymar. You can get the rest of the clan if you want. You will never win the Champions League. Why? Because to win the Champions League, it's not about going and signing all the best players. Right? Real Madrid tried that multiple times in order to just go and get the Galacticos. Yeah, how many times did the Galacticos win the Champions League? They won it when Zidane scored that magnificent goal, and even that doesn't actually classify as the Galacticos because I don't think all of the players that were part of the Galacticos were actually in place at that time. So you could argue, but for me, it was still a really, really, really good team. It's not about just having everyone that's absolute world class. It's about having a well-structured, well-oiled, well-built machine, right? Players of an average standard can do that. But it's about identifying what your team actually needs, how to combat the opponent with the weaknesses that they have using the tools that you have that are up to a certain standard, and then having that belief and being able to compete in a top league week in, week out does the trick. Why do you think the French have only had one Champions League winner in existence? Since the Champions League, since the European Cup began, Marseille were the only team to win the Champions League for France. Why? Because the French league is just not going to be it. It's just not. It can cause a shock from time to time. We saw when Lyon got very far. We saw when Lille got very far. We've seen when PSG got to the final. We've seen Marseille win it in the past. But that's it. English clubs get to semi-finals for fun. Spanish clubs get to semi-finals for fun. Italian teams have won the Champions League numerous times. Germans, Bayern Munich for fun. It's because the French league is just not going to cut it. No matter how many top players you get. When those players... When those players are operating in a league like the French league, like Ligue 1, on a week-to-week basis, their own standards dip a little. You throw them in to a top competition like the Champions League with all these top teams, they will get found out. They will. And hence why yesterday Bayern Munich did expose them. They did. PSG will never win the Champions League. I've said this. I don't care how much money they have. I don't care how many millions and billions and trillions they have in the bank account. They will never conquer Europe. They won't. They just won't. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in regards to all of that. And let's get cracking with the Chelsea news. Starting with this, I have to show you this because I saw this and thought, whoa, it's amazing how they've actually kept this one under wraps. So fair play to everyone that did. But L'Equipe came out with, I'd say, a little exclusive. Check this out. A year before becoming world champion, Kante was a victim of an ambush whilst enjoying moments in a restaurant in the Hauts-de-Seine. He was invited to get into a dark vehicle where a real pistol was placed on one of his knees. Your agent, you either leave him or we shoot him. Kante denies the scene after telling several relatives. Now that's been translated. We continue. Kante on the phones whilst warning him of this article can be summarized. Nothing has happened for all this time and I have nothing to add. I am quite discreet and focused on Chelsea where I am very happy. This was obviously bearing in mind the year before he became world champion. So obviously we're looking at just prior to 2018. He just joined Chelsea a year before that, I think. He was fairly new, and we've not heard about it until now. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure Kante is over it. It's been a long time now. But, yeah, the fact we haven't heard about this up until now, and Kante did continue to play in the way that he did, and we've seen him what he's done for Chelsea, Kante, man. I love Kante. I really, really love Kante. What a guy. What a man. But yeah, N'Golo Kante went through that. I'm glad he got over it. I'm glad it's, I guess, sorted, but it's insane. Can you imagine having a gun pointed to your knee, you know? As a footballer, that's like having a gun to the head. You get your knee shot, you're finished. Your career's done, you know? So, unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm glad he managed to get through it and continued to focus. And you can tell his character is very, very strong. We know he's a religious person. We know that on that level, he's very, very ground-headed, very, 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 you know, calm in terms of his thoughts, and he thinks very, very clearly. So N'Golo Kante, much respect to him, much respect. Mason Mount. Let's get into the latest to do with Mason Mount. Here it is. Mason Mount could be available for around £50 million, and it is increasingly likely he leaves Chelsea. Chelsea's latest offer was understood to be worth around £180,000 a week. Jacob Steinberg does go into a little bit of detail, so you can check this out. Mason Mount is emerging as a summer target for Manchester United, whose priority remains a move for Harry Kane. Mount is increasingly likely to leave Chelsea and is a cheaper target than Bellingham. Liverpool also in for the CFC midfielder. Mason Mount has been offered around 180. Now, we know that Reece James is on about 250, right? We have to acknowledge, though, and this is where Mason might have to compromise if he really is proper Chelsea, right? And I'm going to come to that in a bit, because that's not a dig at Mason Mount. I'm going to give you guys a reality check to the world of football, right? 180 under the new ownership is a good deal. Reece got offered his contract under Roman. Marina was still here. You know? Remember those 5-year contracts that were getting dished out to all the Cobham lads? Yeah? Well, that was Reece. And that was when Roman was here. And he got 250. Congrats, Reece James. But there's a new ownership in town. And the new owners have made it clear that they're looking to bring the salaries down, but they're going to add incentives. They're going to add a bonus structure. They're going to add, if you perform and you do this, this, and this in a game, you'll be getting this as a bonus, which I agree with. I think that's a great, great way to model it, and I think that's a very nice incentive for the players to be able to give more during a game and during a season. Considering the fact that the new owners want to bring the salaries down, and they're offering 180,000, whilst Reece is on 250, some would argue it's a gap, but it's not a massive gap. You know, if you're looking at the wage structure being brought way down, right? Players on 250 and whatnot, you expect all the new players to be given no more than 150 if there's bonuses and incentives. Mason's been offered 180, but he's not accepted. Now, this is where we have to come to the realization of the situation. Like I've already told you guys on here, I don't believe Mason is staying. Mason Mount will leave Chelsea. I've already come to terms with it, right? Some people are going to go, no, we got to keep him. He's going. Why? Because Chelsea have a homegrown quota that they need to fill in terms of balancing the books. We have to acknowledge that Mason Mount came from the academy. The money that he's going to generate is pure profit on the books when it comes to FFP and making sure that we don't get into a sticky situation after the business that we've done. It's crucial that we try and recuperate as much money as we can, and Mason Mount is going to be the big money maker in the players that we have now. So, on that front, you have to look at Chelsea's objectives. Chelsea are looking at this and going, look, with all due respect, if you want to stay, here are the new conditions. Here are what we're offering, right? Considering he's on 80, I think he's on 80 or 90k a week at the moment. He's not on big money. He's getting offered 180, right? That should be something to accept, I'll be honest, right? If you're going to try and bump up to maybe 190, 200, tops. Don't start asking for astronomical. No, Reece is on 250, even though the new owners didn't have anything to do with it. But that's what Mason seems to be asking for. He wants something in comparison with Reece James. I get where he's coming from, but you can't do that. There's new owners. This wasn't negotiated with new owners. It was negotiated with Roman. You can't. It's apples and pears. So this is where he has to compromise if he wants to stay. But this is where I'm looking at it and going, I don't think he will. Chelsea, right now, as I've said, will give him that offer and will be like, look, if you accept it, great. If you don't, we will move on without you. And we're okay with that. Because we're going to be getting money from you, not from you, but from a club to buy you. And that's going to be pure profit for us. And we kind of need that right now. So Here it is, take it or leave it. That's how Chelsea, I'm sure, are approaching the situation. And I agree with him. Mason Mount right now needs to decide. Because the whole proper Chelsea thing, right? Let's get to reality. And again, I've said, this is nothing against Mason. This is the reality of the professional footballer in the modern era, okay? Club loyalty, right? You're not going to get another Totti. You're not going to get another Gerrard, even another JT. You're not going to get those lads that are going, look, no matter what, look, what's the contract? Yeah, cool, all right, here it is, I'll sign, cheers, nice one, bye. Because I'm going to stay here for the rest of my career. It's very, very, very rare now. Players look at their personal interests first as a professional, as a footballer, for their career, what's best for me and my family. And then the club comes after. No one is proper Chelsea. Mason Mount right now is proper Mount. That's what Mount's doing. He's proper Mason. And to be honest, any other player would do the same. So this is why I'm not saying anything against Mason here. In his own right, he is correct. He is correct. I don't expect anyone nowadays to give me ultimate loyalty. I don't expect it. He's going to look out for his own interests, for his family interests, and he's going to try and get as much as he can before accepting anything and everything. And this is what he's doing. I don't believe that they're going to come to a compromise. Therefore, I think he's going to go. So this whole, proper Chelsea. Yeah, proper Chelsea when he's getting what he wants. And that goes for all footballers now. You give a footballer exactly what he wants, yeah, no problem. He'll wear the shirt, he'll put on the scarf, he'll wear the shin pads with the badge on it. He'll do everything. Yeah, absolutely, I'm proper Chelsea, yeah? But the moment something goes wrong over a contract, I'm proper me. I'm proper me. And that's the reality. I'm not advocating go against Mason here. As I've said, I think in his own right, he is correct. I don't expect loyalty anymore. Not to that extent. Loyalty as a professional, after you've signed, now you have to give me 120%. Absolutely. That's loyalty within your contract. But blind loyalty, blind faith, I don't expect that anymore. That did exist. It doesn't really exist anymore. It's sad. Don't get me wrong. It's sad. I don't think that exists anymore, though. You could argue maybe one player that has actually shown a bit of that is Harry Kane. That's loyal. I'll give him that. He's had chances to go and win trophies all over the gaff. Now he's staying at Spurs, mate. Some would call it loyalty, some would call it delusion. I don't know. But look, Mason Mount, I think, will be on his way out. I don't see how a compromise is going to happen. Not at this rate. 180 to 250 is quite a large gap. And yeah, other clubs are interested. So we will see what goes down there. Now, to round up, the Jacob Steinberg article did go into detail about this. Chelsea intend to keep spending, and they have looked at Victor Osimhen as Graham Potter wants a striker to add to Nkunku. Please get this guy. There's a whole debate now as to, do we go for Tammy Abraham and trigger the buyback? Because we have a buyback clause. We can trigger it and he's coming back to Chelsea immediately, right? Or do we go for Victor Osimhen? I'm not going to lie. Tammy Abraham, tonight, right now, Roma are playing, just gave an absolute immaculate assist for El Shawari. Roma winning 1-0 against Real Sociedad. Fantastic from Dybala over to Tammy. Tammy gave him a beautiful shimmy and left. Wonderful assist. Check it out if you haven't already. I've linked it on my Twitter. Do check out the Twitter, link in the description. You can check it out there. Beautiful assist. So I see that and I think, okay, Tammy, go on, Tammy. Loving it. But if I had to choose as a striker between Tammy Abraham and Victor Osimhen, I'm choosing Victor Osimhen. Come on. Come on. So I would do everything in our power to go and get Victor Osimhen. 100%. He needs to be Chelsea's next striker. Has to. It's going to be interesting to see Osimhen, Nkunku, João Felix, by the way. Felix did I can't believe I'm saying it like that. He did in the press conference say that everyone's saying his name wrong, so I got to respect that. João Felix is how you actually say his name, which is weird. It doesn't sound right. But this is what he said. So anyway, Victor Osimhen, I hope Chelsea move for in the summer, and let's see what we can do, because we know Manchester United are interested in him as well. But it would be one hell of an acquisition. A brilliant top striker, very quick, very dynamic, and exactly what we need, I think. The sort of breed that's been compared to Didier Drogba. I don't like to make those comparisons, but when even Jose Mourinho's telling you, yo, this guy is the next Drogba, you got to listen. So I honestly think Osimhen would be a fantastic buy. Let's see if we can get him. Let me know your thoughts down below in terms of who would you actually choose between Osimhen and Tammy Abraham. Let me know down below, because the fee would probably be a little bit more for Osimhen, but not too much, although we have to deal with Napoli, which is a bit of a task. But let me know down below. Much appreciated, and I will see all of you tomorrow for the preview to Leicester City versus Chelsea FC. It's going to be a good one, because we got to win now. We got to carry this momentum. If it is actually, in fact, momentum, let's see if we can actually build on it. Preview for that will be dropping tomorrow. Much appreciated. Thank you for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash like button if you have enjoyed this, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Have a good one, people. See you then. Take care and peace.